Hey, welcome back to Second Run Gaming. I'm Austin. We're here yet again with another episode of Massive Chalice. So we were in the middle of the battle last time that we left off. We had taken out a couple seeds, but there are a few more just chilling out. So without further ado, I think we're just gonna get right into it. Since Charlotte's right next to this seed, I'm just gonna have her punch him really quick here. It's the only other seed that we can see. And actually, yeah, I guess it didn't save that, but we totally...
I suspect we'll be hearing about this for a while.
Just don't get cocky. There's nothing an enemy loves more than some idiot charging into battle thinking they're invincible.
So says the near-suicidal Caperjack.
I'm not cocky, I'm confident.
Yeah, we totally already did this. So, we gave, Tragan Spirit of the Dart Falcon so that he would have better accuracy, and then we were moving forward. So anyway... Alright, so year 107. I'm hoping that maybe we can get through till our next keep is built. Or not keep, but what's our next little research event? The alchemy training. I'm hoping that... there's definitely not going to be another battle in the next 2 years, so... Oh, Ada Lopus died. A sad day for the Marquand keep. Okay, so... Again, because of that fertility thing with the Marquands, we've got a ton of Marquands that are available to take over the Regency. It's really just a question of who we want. So nobody has high fertility, which is honestly kind of surprising, but since the keep has increased fertility rates, I'm not super worried about that anyway. So I guess at this point we're just going to look at maybe the traits that they can pass down to see if there's anybody that would make more sense, as opposed to anybody else. So we've got Cressida, who's 17, she's sickly. Emilu is dim-witted and slow. So Emilu's not great, but she does have more of a personality technically than Cressida does. Mary Kate is a Hawkeye, which is good. She's sickly, but that's less important for alchemists. Simone is slow and a slow learner. Don't want her. Dan is dim-witted. He's quick study though, but he also has decreased intuition. Jesus, this line is not great. Meek is longevity. She's slow and Avenger. I honestly have half a mind just to pick Meek because she's older, so it might give us more time to figure something out. Cressida, I don't, she really just doesn't have anything going for her because she doesn't have anything. Mary Kate, I think, is kind of okay. And Dan is kind of okay. Honestly, longevity is not too bad. Slow isn't great though, because that movement range goes down. But I prefer Avenger as opposed to faint-hearted, so I'm just gonna throw Meek in there for now. Because we don't really have anybody to throw into this keep, so it's gonna be kind of a weird time. So Sean Overholt, he's almost 40, he's got low fertility. I'm gonna throw him in here too, just so that we're not taking from the other houses, and the Marquands do have a lot of people still, so it just means that they might be a little light for a decade or so, but I don't really feel like that's too bad of a thing, because we've got more Marquands right now than we know what to deal with. Okay, a lot of deaths. It took way too many broken flasks and singed eyebrows, but the advanced alchemy training is complete. Remember, everyone, ratios. Okay, so we have 4 keeps, we have a crucible, we have a Sage Rights Guild. I personally don't think it's useful to have more than one of a Sage Rights Guild or a crucible, and it'll be great at some point maybe to have a 5th keep, but that's also like not really necessary, so we're kind of done most likely with our buildings, at least for a little while. We did just do armor not too long ago. Not as long ago as we've... it's been longer that we've had better armor than we've had better weapons, so the next advancement we're going to do is armor first and then weapons after that. But we haven't really looked into the items too much. I think actually though, more than anything, what is the hero discovery boost? There are volumes of ancient text about the Chalice and its powers lying in the capital basement, and we've had good reason to believe that translating them could lead to finding more experienced heroes. Increases the level of discovered heroes by 2. And then discover new heroes, so we can search for a group of attuned citizens ready to become heroes and join our ranks. We'll be able to find higher level heroes as we charge above the time. Research costs for this search increases each attempt. So, like, a discovery boost is okay, but we're not really using the heroes that we find in battle, so having them be higher level doesn't really matter, at least to me. Let's check our items to see what's here too. Steady hander, so the form of your heroes could always use some help. We think looking into a small brace for the arm can immensely help with accuracy. There's the sponge stone. That's the one that takes life. I think actually the ultra elixir is what we really want, because that is just a better version of the health potion that we already have, which heals 10, which is great, but we are seeing some of our heroes getting to points where they have like 30 health, and so 10 is nice. But if we can heal, say, maybe 20, that's what I imagine it moves up to, that might be the best move. It's either that or getting more heroes that we can marry in. I feel like maybe one more batch of heroes might be really helpful, so let's do that, and then after that we'll research the ultra elixir. Yeah, because our regents are older. Alright, we gotta pick a new person, and unfortunately this house, the Raidens are just really light, so if we do another keep, I might want to give it to the Raidens. Based on fertility, Sidara and Charlotte are both in our vanguard. Jason's not, and he's 50, so I feel like Jason's the only one to really put in there. We don't, and then we've got Ren, and that's really our only person, regardless of what their abilities are or not. That's kind of just who we have. As if we look, we don't have anybody in the Bumpus household. Still. Oh no. Guys. Have a kid. We've got 3 people in the Leo household, so they're doing okay. We've got 2 in the Raidens and 1 in the Marquans. So we're going to keep an eye on the Bumpus household. If they don't have a kid in the next 5 years, we may have to adopt one for them. And then I do want to inspect the timeline, because we saw a string of deaths that didn't really tell us much about. So yeah, Krixara died, Aeolopus, and Rajas. Again, the reason it primarily doesn't tell us is because it's ones that we don't really know about. Okay, let's keep going.
We can't decide on what the right move is here.
So, we require a third party.
Tragan Marquand comes to you with a proposition. I know things are kind of wrought right now with the regions getting taken over and all. I was wondering, there are a few places I go to when I want to feel better about what we're doing. Would you like to accompany me to one of them? It helps me every time, and you could follow with your mind's eye. I'll even let you choose the place. Well, this actually seems kind of fun. So we have a couple options. We can go to the Wamberley Theatre and see a play. We can walk over to the Royal Gardens and experience its beauty. Or we could head to the Dirty Ostrich and have a drink with the people. So it'd be nice to go see a play, and it would be nice to go to the Royal Gardens, but I feel like any opportunity that you get to interact with the common folk is usually a good move. But I also think that that option is the most likely option for shit to go wrong, maybe. But since we kind of need heroes, I'm kind of hoping, like, deep down that, like, if we go there, we'll, like, hit it off with, like, a commoner who has some hero energy in them, and then we'll get somebody. So fingers crossed this isn't a terrible decision, but I'm gonna go with number 3. Special occasion. Upon setting foot inside the ostrich, Tragan announces that the ruler will be joining everyone for tonight's merriment. Enormous cheers ensue, and the bartender pulls out a dusty bottle from a shelf hidden under the counter. An honor like that requires a drink to match it. Merch's number 9, the last ever brewed. Drinks are poured, and as you watch the citizens of your nation relax and enjoy themselves, you momentarily forget your rulerly obligations and feel as if you're truly one of the people. So, Tragan Marquand has gained Merch's number 9 status. I don't know what that means, but cool. I want to look. Increased HP and longevity courtesy of the Dirty Ostrich. Well, that's pretty nice, especially since he has our relic. The longer he can kind of stay afloat, the better. Well, I'm glad that that worked out. We didn't get anybody new, but it's nice that Tragan got something good from one of those scenarios, since last time he became unnerved for forever. And then Momo Marquand has died, but a baby boy was born, it looks like to the Raidens? Or... no, that was to the Marquands. Okay, and then the Bumpuses still don't have a kid? Oh boy. Oh boy. They are worrying me. And she died? God dang it. I was just trying to make a new line. But we might not get to do that. So let's look. House names. So we've got Lius, we've got Marquands, and we've got Raidens. And then we have Robin Walters, who has low fertility and is 57 years old. Huh. Interesting. Well, we were talking about trying to get the Raidens another household because there's so few of them. So this might be a decent opportunity to do that. Because they are really behind. But we're also only a year away from getting a new batch of heroes. So I'm gonna maybe actually let the keep chill to see if we can't get a new hero in there and try and get that keep going, because I would like it to be a 4th royal line if possible. Tancred of the Sage Rights Guild has died. Yeah, we're fucking light on people. We need to have more kids, guys. Because of that, too, Robin Walters is the only person that has a chance at being inducted into the Sage Rights, because I don't want to use anybody else that we have. Okay. Please give me some good heroes. Okay, so we got 5. We got Seraphina Van Houteness, who is a hunter. And we've got Alania Madaron, who's a caberjack. I don't want an alchemist, and I'm kind of pissed that we got 3 alchemists. So Seraphina is brainy, strong-willed, asthmatic, and nervous. That is not great for a hunter. Alania is brainy and strong, but sickly, wily, and a bit of a reveler. I still stand by that I love caberjacks, but I really want more hunters. I do think that we've got to adopt, so I'm gonna adopt a baby, and if this empty keep doesn't have a kid by then, we'll give it to them, or we'll give it to the Raiden line. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Seraphina, and the Van Houteness line will be one of our lines. Don't love their last name, but I'm trying to not lose here, and we need, I think we just need at least one more royal line. We've got to marry him to somebody, and it, in my opinion, should definitely be some other rando that we just got. So Edmund, he's intelligent, but not very dexterous, and is asthmatic, which is not super good. Morgan is brainy, strong, and hardy. And okay, this person's amazing. If they weren't an alchemist, they would be the leader of the keep. So they're going to be the regent. All right, shot number 2 at this keep. If we don't get that royal line kind of established in the next 20 years, at that point, there's no way we can really kind of start to establish a new line and have it really be helpful to us. I personally think, at least, with the end game only being about 150 years away. Okay, so it looks like Jason didn't die. It was their partner. Jason's old as shit. So Edmund has pretty bad stats, but he's the only one available. So that's where we're at. And it looks like the Raiden line still hasn't had any offspring, because it's just Trevor. Gonna take a look at our heroes right now just to see by house who we have. Mid to late game is where it gets tricky and some houses can fall, and if you lose a line, you really don't want to do that. So the Liu line we've got to be careful on. They've only got 5 people. The Marquand lines have a ton. They're really safe. The Raidens though, see, yeah, they're down to 3. And it's like, part of me would want to give them another keep, but like they're so light on people that they don't really have the people to hold 2 keeps. Oh, Chrissy died. R.I.P. our relic holder. She did really good. Truth is level 4. When Chrissy got it, it was level 1. And so we have to bestow this onto somebody else. There are a couple options here, but Anders was the one that was in our vanguard. He is the one that's really slow, though. So if we don't have to give it to Anders, I don't really wanna. Sharon's also slow. David is old. And everybody else is little. So actually, we're still gonna give it to Anders. Oh, thank God. Finally. So the Van Houten's line has a kid, Jess, and they're strong and they have a lot of health. Because like Seraphina is okay, but Morgan has a lot of really good traits, so it's good that those are being passed on as well. Oof, and we've got a battle.
Literally, in some cases, correct?
Look at you, making jokes.
So this is a tough one because it's like our keep over here. Naturally, we want to keep the cadence away from it, but this territory, which is the only territory that we can really afford to lose, has 2 cadence markers on it already. If it gets a 3rd marker, it will go away. We also get a level 28, a 28-year-old level 3 caberjack, and it would be nice to have another somebody just to get him, probably, hopefully, as a regent spouse. So we're gonna go over there, and our vanguard is actually mostly intact, even though our line of people is a little struggling right now. Like, we've only got 3 Raidens and fucking 2 of them are here. But so we just have to replace Chrissy with ideally another Liu, and we've got 3 options. Sharon's the youngest. David and Adrian are both in their 50s, so I'd rather not take them just because it's not really going to do too much good. I'm just going to level up Trevor real quick here. It's nice to see that we have Trevor and Baba, who are both younger, so they'll definitely replace Charlotte and Sidara once they kind of pass the torch. But yeah, I think we're going to go throw Sharon in here. She's not great, but she does have good dexterity and good accuracy, so even though she's slow and she doesn't get experience very quickly, I mean, it's somebody. But yeah, this is something that I do have to pay attention to, is like, if you look in the details, it's like Crystron only had 2 kids. It's just Anders and Sharon, so it's like the Raidens are struggling right now, but it looks like the Lius have been struggling in the background and I may not have noticed. So I'm going to pay attention a little bit more probably in the next couple episodes to just kind of making sure we've got enough babies in training.
Break a leg. Or 11.
Oh god. 3 of them immediately, huh? Well, we're going to move Tragan up first, since he's the wily one who has the flasks that can go wherever. And there's a Wrinkler over there. Okay, this is going to be a tough battle. So, I'm going to free throw it. I'm going to try and hit these 2 lapses since they're in the back. That did not work at all. So we're going to try one more time. And I'm going to try for here. That works. So yeah, he was able to take 2 out, which is awesome. Unfortunately, if we take out this lapse, it's probably going to knock Traden into that tree. But gotta do what you gotta do. And I am going to have Sharon probably move up here and just point blank it. And he actually didn't get stunned, so that's good, because yeah, we definitely don't want to start on the wrong foot. There is a Wrinkler up here, but he's pretty far away. I'm going to move Anders into cover, and Anders is drunk. Way to go. And since we already know there's a Wrinkler about, I'm going to move Charlotte into cover, and I'm also going to move Sidara behind this tree, and we're just going to wait and see if that Wrinkler crosses that bridge. Yep. Good. So the Wrinkler's really close. We've got to kill him this turn if we don't want him to wrinkle our people, but I'm not too worried since we do have 5 opportunities to take him down. I'm going to try and use Tragan last since he just got 2 kills. And Charlotte's got a relic, so it's probably good for her. Well, actually, she's already kind of guaranteed to have a relic, so I'm maybe going to have... this is tough. As far as the experience goes, I'm going to have Sidara try and take this one. Because if I can get her and Charlotte to both have nicknames, we may get lucky and have 2 relics in the Raiden line, and since we do run with 2 Caperjacks, we can start stacking both of the Raiden-like soldiers with relics each, which would be really nice, and hopefully we can start doing that with the Leos at some point as well. Okay, we've got a Cradle. Again, Cradles can be worse. They are definitely seemingly less of a problem with lapses and Wrinklers, and I think overall they are. But if they use the other attack that they have, that's not just seed oriented, they can do a lot of damage. And like for example, when I had Charlotte and Tragan right next to each other, that can backfire pretty well. Because their attack will be like an area of effect, so it would hurt both of them like a decent amount. I'm going to have Charlotte take this one, since it's just a little seed anyway, and that gives everybody else an opportunity to kind of move up. But I'm going to keep them a couple spaces separated, just because of the Cradle, and I think I just spied that Sidara does have a nickname, which is awesome. So hopefully we'll get 2 relics out of their runs. Please be a seed. Yeah, cool. It's possible too that it's like what I remember from the dangers of the Cradles is not coming yet. Like it might be later game, like higher leveled up. So yeah, we have Sidara Pot Sitter. So remember how we randomized like the funny and not funny stuff at the beginning? So I feel like the Raidens don't sound like a funny house name, but it obviously seems like for nicknames there's some sort of randomized algorithm that's giving us half serious names and half names like Pot Sitter and Mr. Pancakes. So we'll see if Sharon can't take this little dude out too, since she's just in the back of the pack. And then if Charlotte can get all the way up there, that's good. See if Tragan can't do some damage with his relic. Well, okay. I'm going to move Anders up. See if he can't shoot the Cradle. And then Charlotte should be able to come in for the kill on this one. Nice. And we will have those seeds to worry about, but again, with the light amount of damage that they do, a couple of them isn't really an issue unless we're already surrounded by a bunch of other enemies. I'm going to move Sidora up there just so that the seeds can hopefully spread out and not gang up on any one person too much. Though if they did gang up on somebody, it's going to be Tragan. He's such an unlucky guy. And he's also weaker. But yeah, our K-Bird Jacks have that knockback armor too. I always forget about that now that we've got it, but it's super useful. So since we got these slow Lius, they are going to start to lag behind probably, so I'm trying to get them a little bit more experience while they're still close to the pack. I really hope that their movement goes up enough as they level to kind of keep up the pace. But I'll be happy when we have a new generation of Lius that are not slow. That would be great if that wasn't a thing in the future. Give it your best shot. Nice. I'm going to start making sure that the Raidens are at the front of the pack just because they can take the hits the most and they have that knockback ability. And then we'll probably have Tragan in the middle and our two hunters from the Liu line pulling up the back. I don't see any enemies yet. They're probably up there somewhere. Fog of War says that they're probably in this back sector right over here. So we might have to loop back to where we were, but we'll just do that up top. Gonna move Tragan all the way up next to Charlotte since we already know there aren't any enemies. And I'm gonna sprint Anders up there. And Sharon's in a spot where she's kind of in the middle. She could go either way, but I'd rather have her pull up the rear of our group than have her be off on her own too much. And we'll have Sidara and yeah, Charlotte just stay where they're at. Alright, well, we know that the enemies are out there, but I don't exactly know where they're going to be yet, and I don't know how many are left. But this is a decent amount of Fog of War. I'd say we've probably still got a good, 5 to 8 enemies going, so we're going to call it here for this episode. Thanks so much for watching again. I think we're doing really good. I'm happy that we have all these lines going really solidly, and I'm happy that we can start maybe implementing just one more 4th household, just to mix it up a little bit, get a 4th line in there, and make sure that we can get to the end with enough people. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.